late here. Welcome to pool 1. Unfortunately, I just finished my race and these guys have started already, so we've missed qualifying. I'm waiting for my co-commentator, Mr. Triv Moodley, to come join me, and it looks like he's just joined the party. Welcome, Trivs. The race is already underway on lap 1. I don't know if you can hear me. We've got Serious Sam leading, KBL jumping around on the screen there, but it's Sam from Wolfie from SMP3 Pro, EcoBoost, Ghost Killer Pace, Supermanny, and then a couple more of the KBR guys. Are you there, Tribs?
I am indeed.
Welcome,
Good
welcome.
day, sir. How are you?
I just had a very frustrating race, but yeah, all good. How did your race go?
You and me both, man. Oh, it was horrible. It was so bad.
Well,
I hate this track.
We had some delays with our connection, so we only started at like 9 o'clock, did one qualifying lap, and I managed to bin it in the chicane. And then on the start, my Subaru got passed by a Supra that was lagging all over, and I touched the back of him, so I waited until the whole field was passed, which made me 17 seconds behind by the time we got to the bus stop for the first time. And that actually wasn't too bad from there, right until the part where I went on to hards, did a lacquer stint, got up to 6th place, and then pitted and put hards on again.
Oh, no.
So I had to make an extra stop and ended up 10th. Tell us about your race.
Unfortunate. Did a good quali. Wasn't too bad of a qualifying race, seeing as though I was out for about 4 months from racing. But just couldn't keep the pace, couldn't keep the momentum, just kept falling off, making stupid mistakes. Ended up finishing 7th, I think it was. Yeah, not so great overall, eh?
Well, we're in here with the pool 1 guys, and they seem to be doing a lot better. Wolfie's taken Sam for the lead, but quite interestingly, Wolfie's on softs, Sam is on mediums. EcoBoost soft, looks like most of the front guys, Ghost Killer Pace is on medium, Supermanny medium. Is this a pace strategy?
Seems like it. I went for I went for the same mediums, possibly then onto hards, then finishing off strong on softs. That seems to be a winning strategy. Seems to be what most guys are going for. Yeah, I'm very keen to see what's happening. And hello to everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Let us know how your race went, how things are going. Interact with us, man. Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah. Keep going through here. We've got a couple of guys, Jean saying he's sad he couldn't race. I think in our pool we had 14 guys, 2 guys were battling. We've managed to work out how to pick up who the person given the issue clashing is. So we got all the way down to 12 guys, and I think everyone's quite happy to get through that. But sorry to the guys who couldn't race, it's just counted as a mechanical failure. It looks like these Toyotas are the car to have on this track. What were you riding, Trev?
I was in a Toyota as well, so I'm not doing the brand any justice, but it is a great car to run. Use this car in a lot of international leagues as well. Great overall performer, especially when you're doing manufacturers. Group 3 and Group 4, it's a classic combo. But I think the BMW is going to give it a run for its money in this track, especially with Sam behind the wheel. Looks like he's been taken now, dropped down to 3rd, but
yeah, remember he's on the harder tires, so he's going to run those mediums for a while. Going through the field, there's a couple more guys towards the back that are on mediums. Steel, the KBR guys, RBS Racing, OJJS is on hards. Colonel's UG must be a new person. He's part of my Subaru family, but he took the fast one. I thought the BRZ was a little bit slow in a straight line, but I was going for its tire saving abilities. But man, coming out the last corner, the Supra that was behind me managed to overtake me before the start finish line. That's the pace difference between them. So yeah, I was losing about a second to the Supra on the straights, and pulling it back about half a second.
Yeah, man, it was quite unfortunate as well. I was also having a bit of a braking problem. I'm not sure if it was my rig or my controller, or my headset was plugged in, but my brakes just kept coming on. Lost about 10 seconds a lap because of that. So it was really frustrating. But oh man,
Interesting.
what a race!
I'm
What a
just
race and what a
looking
track.
at this battle here for second, third, or actually it's more third, fourth, fifth. Sam on his mediums, then S&P on the softs. Ghost Killer's running the Genesis on mediums. Quite an interesting car choice. I did see it did quite well here on the World Tour 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Welcome to Foss Ross, who's in my race. I see he's just joined the chat. Good third position there. I was hoping to battle with him, but I think without my disastrous qualifying and 2 mistakes, I possibly would have been in his sort of area. We've got KBR EcoBoost going into the pits there with a penalty, but only half a second, so hopefully he didn't cross the line. KBR EcoBoost was our top seeder, new to GTSA, and I think his name's Edwin. Could be wrong. We were having a little chat the other day. Great to have some new blood here. KBR boys bringing it on.
That's awesome.
Out front at the moment, KBR Wolfie with the Supra 6 seconds in the lead, making the best of the soft tires. S&P softs 6 seconds. He's now got Sam only half a second behind. I think the soft guys are starting to die off a bit, as you can see. So Sam's mediums are coming back into this. And this was the thing with this strategy. I think if you're not great at looking after tires, from lap 4 5 you should probably be getting off the softs already, because you can see lap time wise, a consistent runner like S&P, he did a 46, 47, 48 now, so he's just losing a second a lap. I wouldn't be surprised to see some guys pitting now on lap 5 already to get rid of those softs.
This is a very technical track, a lot of piston turns, a lot of high speed corners as well, so your tires are going to suffer. Fuel saving, tire saving here, this is where the boys shine, and I mean we've seen Sam pull this off time and time again. Just playing the waiting game, and then towards the end.
Look at this pack here though. Other than the leader, we've got pretty much second all the way down to, what's that, 10th place in one shot. Yeah, second to 10th, all on that short little section. So now let's see who pulls the gun for the undercut. Anyone going into the pits this lap? We've got Wolfie on his softs with a 6 second lead. Not seeing anyone else just yet. There we go. Someone on mediums looked like they came in. Super many into the pits.
Yeah, Mo Razak is complaining about the pit lane penalties. My brother, I'm there with you. I think during practice I had about 10 seconds worth of penalties in 2 laps.
Sam just got back ahead of S&P, but they're having a little battle. Those mediums of Sam, nice and constant 48s, S&P 49s, 48s. Looking up the inside here, that pace livery on Sam's car is great on the BM. I actually thought he was on Team Supra when I first saw it. Just that pink and blue. Or S&P getting wide and spinning it there. That's almost exactly what I did in qualifying. Just trying to go back into the pack. Yeah, still I think there's some chaos there. S&P still trying to get straight. And these soft tires, once you dirt,
unfortunate.
Once you got dirt on them, it's a nightmare. Like I said, it's almost exactly what happened to me in qualifying. S&P will come back stronger. He's always a competitor. He's now behind Wolf, who's pitted. That's why you can see his front tires are shot. Back's almost finished. Was possibly pitting the lap before. We've got Supermanny with a 3 second penalty there. We were talking about the pit lane.
Oh man.
That's going to hurt.
That's so unfortunate.
As back to the front, we've got Sam Stoney's mediums, no petrol left, so he's going to have to come in. 6 laps on mediums. I ran, I think it was 5 on medium, 5 on soft, then I did 9 on medium, and then I was supposed to go to the end on, 9 on hard, and I was supposed to go to the end on the mediums, but unfortunately I did an extra set of hards there.
Double hards there.
Double hard. That's the way we roll. But
took a pull to make it hard like an iron.
Taking a look at some of these liveries here. Another great one. What's OJ in the Jag there? Aston. Sorry, called a quick.
Yeah, man. I mean, we can't have a proper commentary here without talking about the liveries. I am proud to have 2 of my created liveries on the track at the moment. It's always nice to see it. It's always fun, heartwarming to see the logos running around. Out
KBR
of these ones
EcoBoost
here,
with
what's
the
your favorite?
interesting livery, interesting car, gone with the Ford. I think possibly one
Yeah,
of the
man,
very few in the league to have done that.
yeah, man. I really never would have thought of the Ford. I was contemplating between the
Well,
Genesis just
yeah.
because and the Toyota because that's where
OJ
I'm
managed to
at.
pick up the 3 seconds. I don't know if that was going into the pits or he chopped Sam's nose off there. Sam's dropped a couple of positions because he was ahead of the two cars that are now directly ahead of him before the pit stops, but he might have taken on more fuel. Yeah, Sam's full tank and they've just topped up for the stint. As you can see there, they got 2/3 of a tank.
Yeah, man. So hit us with the comments in the comment sections there, guys. Which is your favorite livery and who you think is going to claim this championship this season?
Well, we got quite a shake-up. I mean, we've got some of the previous winners. We've got Sam's won it previously, SMP3 Pros won it, but our reigning GTSA champion from the last full season, RTA Safa, he's not racing. Who else? Kalen's on a sabbatical. Mr. Pace, if you are watching, shout out to you. When you do see this, Stefan Vessels, Mr. RTA Donkey's now a PC gamer. What other winners have we had? Lorenzo is also not involved. Julian, he is with the Racing Proper Cars now. Shout out to him for winning both heats at Red Star Raceway last time out in the V8s. I believe they're
Epic,
not
man.
coming to East London this weekend, so folks are a bit scared of the fast corners or something. Not sure what's happening there, but yeah, so it's wide open for a new champion. We've got some strong KBR guys by the looks of it running 1, 2, 3 at the moment.
Mr. Kellen is just asking where the points. The race is still going on, and man wants his
Mr.
points.
Toonies, I think I saw him win the race earlier. He had a nice battle with DC Gaming out. She wasn't paying too much attention. I know that was the top 3. I don't know which one ended up ahead, but shout out to those guys from Pool 3. We managed to get it going half an hour late, which made it past my driving bedtime, and I just drove like an idiot. But imagine you join the lobby and do 46.0 your first lap, and then when you're in the race, your best is like a mid 47.
Yeah, that's the worst, and I think everyone here can relate to that in some way or another.
But
You
yeah,
know,
we
your
all have
qualifying time is never.
you all have not even qualifying, just the one and only practice lap I did in the lobby, and then we sat for half an hour trying to work it out. So currently, let's see what's happening at the front. Wolfie's still leading. His gap's now up to 7 seconds over EcoBoost. Wolfie is on hards, getting them going, and the hards are about a second and a half, 2 seconds slower than the softs, but they just don't drop off.
Yeah,
I think you
roundabout. I
could
mean,
probably do 4 races on them and not have a problem.
yeah, man. I did 9 laps on my hards, and
They're barely showing wear.
absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way.
KBR EcoBoost switched to the mediums, so he's probably going to start to run the hards. He's 7 seconds ahead of the next KBR driver. Looks like everyone's had one pit stop. It's another hard. I wonder what's going on here. So Sam's now 17 seconds off the lead, where he was only 6 before the pit stops, but I'm forgetting that he fueled full. So he's going to get that time back at the next pit stop.
Yeah, definitely. But this puts him now in a very precarious position where he's having to battle people behind him.
Yeah.
It's going to be losing time trying to keep his position.
Well, he did
Let's
get
just hope he can make
past
it up
Ghost
later
Killer
on.
pace now, and OJ had the pit lane penalties, so that moved him out the way. One of the guys I think might be the favourite for the season, KBR RBS Racing, down in 8th currently. He's definitely a man to watch. I think he was second fastest on seeding. He just went out there, banged in. I think at the time it was like the 6th fastest time in the world, and then said he's had enough and let everyone else practice all week. So I'm surprised to see him down in 8th. But what car is he running there? I'm trying to possibly the Subaru, the BRZ
I
that I
can't
was
really
on.
see.
livery throws it off a bit. Yeah, it looks like the Subaru.
Yeah,
And yeah, like I said, we're about a second a lap down on pace on the top end sections to the Toyotas and some of the faster cars. Hopefully the GR4 and some of the, I think I might be using the WRX from now, to be honest.
I think you might as well, but because it doesn't look like the BRZ is going to be doing any good. I'm not sure if that's the new BRZ. It looks
The
yes,
GT300
delivery
car.
does throw it off a bit.
Now, he has the
And
dark horse.
it doesn't help that now.
You're still sitting on his hard tires. He's always a man that does very well at the long game. So fuel savings, running hard tires, and then he pops up at the end with a little sprint to jump a bunch of places. S&P3 Pro, after he spun down in 11th, and that one lap cost him which lap was it? His in lap was a 2:15. Other guys were like 1:59, so he lost about 16 seconds on that lap. But he also fueled full, so expect him to come back through the field at some stage.
He still always gives us a good show towards the end, whether it's the season or the race. I don't know how he manages to pull it off.
Wolfie's gaps now to 11 seconds. Those mediums on EcoBoost are dying and the gap's opening up. Third KBR car is now closed in by about 2 seconds on him as well. Also running hard, so you can see that advantage after a few laps. The hards just come into it. I think it was a little bit of a what's the right word? I think with the tyre strategy, especially even with the half fuel, it was a little bit of misdirection to the guys that get the softs, and normally we want to be on the hards for as little time as possible, but with the hard tyre wear, I think this race is more about spending time on hards and mediums. EcoBoost pits losing too much time on those medium tyres. Now he's going to fit the hards till the end, 8 laps.
It is going to be a risky decision. Hopefully he can jump a few guys while they're in the pits during maybe lap 13, 14. But
well, his next 2 laps he'll probably be a bit slower than the guys that are on hards when they switch to medium, but then it balances out and he's going to come strong towards the end.
Let's just hope he stays strong though. One slip up and that whole strategy goes out the window.
Yeah. We've got Sam, Ghost Killer Pace and Manny all very close together, all running hards at the moment. OJ on the medium starting to drop off a little bit on the back of this group here, is leading it before that penalty. KBR RBS on his hards also closing in there now up to 7th.
It is interesting to note that yes, this is a individual sport, but there are teams partaking as well. For instance, the Pace Boys, KBR Boys. It's always competitive, and it's always interesting to see how these battles unfold. Whether there's you know your teammate is faster, you either let him through, or you want to prove yourself within your team. You assist each other with strategies, but it's always fun to see how things go on.
Just watching Wolfie take that last turn exactly how it's meant to be, cut over the pit lane, drift right out towards the wall, and you get that great run out the end there. Let's see how second place does it. A second, we've got a Merc, I didn't even notice. Obviously with the late start we don't have a chance to go through all the cars. Sam in the BM now catching, he was 4 seconds behind second at one stage, down to 2. They all the top 5 cars or so are running hards at the moment. Wolfie's got a flashing light, so a lap or 2 till he pits. His teammates still got quite a bit of fuel. Sam with even more. Ghost Killer Pace as well, running a lot of fuel there. Many OJ picking up another penalty, probably on turn 1. That turn 1, how many times did it get you?
Oh man, I think about 3 times in the race I got a penalty from that.
I think it's actually better
quite upsetting.
if you come in too hot, and it's probably just better to keep the gas on a little bit, because if you brake and try to stop yourself, you lose more than that second and a half just running on the straight with no pace.
Oh, it's so upsetting, man, because I was making up some great time there toward the end and just a little bit too overzealous, and
You want
after
to know
second penalty.
how I felt? I was running on hards, 6 laps to go, my opposition about to put the hards on, only about 5 seconds behind, and then I go and put hards on again. What a dumbass. EcoBoost is currently down in 10th, but he has completed his pit stops now. There's quite a few guys ahead that are going to have to stop shortly, and he's running his hards now, which will obviously, like towards the last laps, be stronger than the guys that switched to the mediums. A 3-second penalty for SMP. He must have pitted and not done the right thing on the entrance. We've got our leader in with a 17-second lead. Let's see how this works out for him. His hard tyres just showing a slight amount of wear. KBR Wolfie with one of his original liveries, previous winner of some of our livery contests. Looks like your first 4 going through, not pitting at the moment, so that's going to be interesting. You should peel out just behind that pack.
Yeah, and those guys should be coming in on the next lap.
Yeah.
To get those softs on and get the legs out.
So that just shows you from leading by 17 seconds, he's now 10 behind. So 27 seconds for that pit stop with his fuel. Obviously, the guys are coming in the next lap.
Uncle Mo is asking a very important question, actually. Out of these guys here, out of the 12 here, how many are on a wheel and how many are on a controller?
I think probably at least 10 will be on a wheel. I'm pretty sure most of these guys are taking it fairly seriously.
I'm not so sure about Sam. I don't think he's on a wheel. I think he's still using his controller for now. He has, but I don't think he's in a bit of in between houses at the moment. He's about to move, so I think he's still got his controller out. If I'm not mistaken, I stand to be corrected.
Well, let's see. We're going to have a bit of a shake-up now. Sam's still closing in on second, gap down to 2.5. It went up. I don't know if Sam made a mistake. It was down to 2 and then went back up to about 3.5, but now it's back to 2.5. Sam's still got a lot of fuel. The question now is, when do you pit for the mediums, these guys that haven't used them yet? Some of them might even be putting for softs if they have.
Yeah, I think
started on mediums.
I think 2 to 5 should be going in on the softs, but they're staying up for another lap.
Yeah. Well, you'll get 4 good laps, maybe 5 on softs if you light on fuel. RBS going into the pits from his hards. Just no one else pitting. Let's see what he fits. Look at these graphics. Great to see the GTSA logo on the side of the car there. Gran Turismo South Africa changing from Gran Turismo Sport South Africa. There's some possibility, just to let you know, everyone's having a bit of a rough time, so there wasn't a full sponsorship for this season. But there is a chance of something very nice happening, so I'll keep you guys updated next week on that.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
RBS drops to 10th, EcoBoost 10 seconds ahead. He was in second, so we'll have to see once all the other guys start pitting how this all shakes out. S&P's finished all his pit stops now. He's currently in 12th, but there'll be a few guys that still have to pit ahead of him. And we go back to the front. Sam's just shaken off the other pace boys, Manny and Ghost Killer, at the moment. Opened up about a 1.5 second gap. They're all running together for a long time there. So now with, 5 laps to go at the end of this one. Now, either this lap or the next one would be a good time for the guys to bang those softs on. We're going to see how far
I think if you
KBR Wolfie gets up the pack.
If you put end of lap 15, that's not enough time for you to make up positions there.
Well, KBR Wolfie is only 10 seconds behind, so the guys won't have to fuel as long as he did. He's actually stuck behind OJ a little bit. There's Sam into the pits. Also goes killer pace. Looks like OJ's coming in. So Wolfie was only 11 seconds behind the first 2. So he should go straight through to third. But we saw just now 27 seconds. So even without fuel, when I did my last pit stop, it was that extra one I had to make. My total pit time was about 25 seconds. Probably about 18 seconds slower than driving on the track. So he should come out with a lead of around 8. And the question is, can anyone on softs catch him?
Oh,
Yes.
we shall see soon enough. Just on the point of the name change, don't forget to change the YouTube channel name as well, right?
Yeah, I did change the video title, but I'm not sure. I think Vanna probably will have to be the one. He's got the password. He can go and edit the channel, maybe put the new logos up. So currently running KBR, Manny, Wolfie, Yasteel, EcoBoost, Sam, Ghost Kill. I think Sam could be a bit of a dark horse towards the end of this race. How far behind Wolfie is he? He's 24 seconds off the pace, so 13 behind Wolfie. I don't think those soft tires in the time left will be enough for him, but I think he's got a strong chance of jumping to second here, possibly. Gonna have to see how.
Very, very possible.
So let's see. Expect our leaders in first two cars.
This pit lane
Oh,
is just
Ghost Killer's
so
just
tricky.
disconnected. That's sad.
Oh no.
He was in for a strong top 5 there. Superman also into the pits. See Wolfie going past them. Yeah, Steel pits. We're going to have EcoBoost is only 7 seconds behind Wolfie. EcoBoost running mediums with a bit of wear on them already. Sam should be coming through shortly.
Yeah, we should see him up on the screens there.
Looks like Gillibrand got out just in front of him. It looks like Sam got stuck behind RBS Racing a little bit. RBS pulling some strategy here to come out in fourth. Look at the speed difference between the BRZ and the BM. Just
sails right by.
Now that the BRZ is very good in these long corners. Sam sitting in fifth. Wolfie starting to open that gap up. Back to 8 seconds now. I think the battle's going to be for second place here. If third, fourth and fifth can hunt down second. And as I say, that EcoBoost gets a half-second penalty, which is going to cost him a nice chunk of time.
Oh man, that is so unfortunate. But I think he's
great
still got a
debut race.
Buffer, right?
Yeah, he's 5.5 seconds ahead at the moment. So by the next lap with the softs, he's running on hards. Look at that hard pacer, lap 12, 46, 46, 46, 46, 4 laps in a row on the hard tires.
Consistent, man. But then again, with a name like KBR EcoBoost, you didn't expect him to jump into a Porsche, now did you?
That's also true. I mean, there's no oil on track, which is strange since there's a Ford on the track. Shout out to Quintus if you're watching, and all the other Ford boys.
The KBR boys wasted no time in scooping up EcoBoost here. It looks like he's in for a good shot at winning this season.
Gillibrand is already 4 seconds, taken a second out on that lap, and the penalty hasn't been served yet. We've got 3 laps to go. They're going to be very close by the end. Looks like RBS still defending from Sam. Watch the speed difference now. Was 6 tenths. Straight. Sam now right on the back of the Subaru again. Back to 3 tenths through the fast corner. Nice little battle here. 4th place at the moment. RBS has pulled a great strategy. Remember, you're sitting down in 8th place just now.
Yeah, he played his cards really well. He's suffering with his tires though, but only 2 laps left. Anything can happen, man.
Yeah, his tires about the same as Sam's, and Sam stopped a lap before him. After him, I mean. But there we go, some top speed advantage. BMW looking up the inside. Toonies, anyone driving which old car? The old Subaru or the WRX Subaru? There's one of those in the field. I was going to go either GTR or Subaru, and I took the Pennzoil and that Tomica GTR around here. I was like, 3 seconds off the normal GTR pace. And my only practice after that was a race with Sam and a couple of other guys in the GTR, and I killed the tires. So I was like, let me just take the Subaru without practicing 1 lap. I believe it's good on tires. Well, it was, but no top end. Sam managing to pull it away from RBS now, and with that straight line advantage. EcoBoost is now, after serving that penalty, he's got 3rd place right on his tail, setting new fastest lap of the race at the moment on the softs. So I forgot that these guys had the softs on. I'm surprised Sam also with the soft, but he's worn he's a little bit quicker than the Merc. So EcoBoost on hards versus soft. No wonder he's been caught so quickly. And there goes the change of position, 2nd for 3rd. Still doing a great job for his first GTSA race.
Absolutely stunning, man.
Wolfie's opened the gap
top
with
5.
What was that?
Yeah, no, absolutely stunning performance by EcoBoost, man. Pool 1, top 5, first race out the gate for GTSA.
Top podium at the moment. Wolfie is also having a great race with Toyota. He's on mediums, but yeah, only 1 lap left. I don't see this fresh softs catching him. Question is, can Sam make that 2.5 seconds up to steal the podium at the end? We'll just run through the field quickly. A little battle further back, OJ and Hollywood. Hollywood rocking a AlphaTauri gold and blue Toyota livery. Some interesting color combos here. OJ with the pink and blue. I hear someone's lagging there, jumping around a little bit. Yeah, still 9th place. S&P stuck in 10th. Obviously, he had that issue earlier. Kennels, how do you say that? He's distant 11th, but I think it's his first race. He's in the old Subaru. You can see on the final lap, 2nd place has taken a second off the lead, but not enough time. EcoBoost has actually pulled away from Sam on this lap. I don't know if Sam made a mistake, but he's got RBS right on his tail, so he must have.
Oh man, Sam must be kicking himself. He had a great strategy and a great climb in the beginning. But I'm not sure what's happening towards the end here on the last lap.
It looked like he got KBR'd.
Looks like he got KBR.
KBR podium and fight for 4th. We're going to have to chat to your pace guys to see what's happening there.
KBR versus pace, no one else in between anymore. And, oh my lord, this is exciting stuff. I'm truly thrilled to see how things have progressed. But come on, man, we need some fresh blood in here. Bring up the new guys.
Gap's down to 5.7 now. I think Wolfie's been running out of petrol the last couple laps because he's on fumes at the moment. So he's just dialed it in, used that big lead he had. Great drive by KBR Wolfie coming across the line. Race 1, first place.
Stunning stuff.
And look, he's happy with that, doing the swerve side to side. 2nd place, also a great drive in the Merc. Ended up only 5 seconds behind Mr. EcoBoost coming across the line, 3rd place. And then Sam just holding off RBS and Supermany right behind. And yeah, Supermany showing ahead of RBS. I don't know if RBS had a penalty there over the line or didn't. Did he not use the tyres? No, OJ's come across and he hasn't dropped a minute, so he must have had a 1/2 second penalty at the end there.
Possibly. But epic stuff, epic racing again from Pool 1. It's always close stuff at them. It's always respectful, always competitive out here. I know some guys are still crossing the line, but I just gotta say, man, EcoBoost, I think he's going to be the one to watch this season.
Underdog.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the one to watch this season.
Big shout out to all the new guys. Hopefully they had a good race tonight. Scattered through the various pools, but yeah, welcome to GTSA. Sorry about being a little bit late on tonight's broadcast, and hopefully, yeah, we'll see everyone next week, Thursday.
Yes, thank you all for coming. Trev. Always good to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Always good to
Give
join you
give
on
us
stream, Mr.
what's
Steven.
happening with Gorilla Garage? You're in Joburg now. You're in Durban, then you're back in Joburg. Is Gorilla Garage
I am
happening? Can we
back.
give you a shout out?
Yeah, I am back in Joburg. Gorilla Garage
Yep.
is still running. Hoping to put up some prizes for the end of the season. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Have been struggling to send out some orders. So if you did order some stuff, keep in mind it is coming through. I do apologize for the delays, but we are sorting it out nice and swiftly. But yeah, man, we're gonna have some sticker kits. We're gonna have some nice track art for you guys as well as stickers. Whatever you need, whatever you want. Always a Gran Turismo discount
Yeah.
as well. So feel free to give us a shout.
Look at Supermanny's last 3 laps there. Lap 17, he set the fastest lap of the race, and then 44, 45, 45 on those softs. No wonder he managed to sneak 5th place at the end there. He was flying in his Toyota.
Yeah, man. I think towards the end he said enough is enough, and he just put the hammer down, risked it all for the biscuit, and it paid dividends, man.
Yeah, so shout out to all the guys. Pool 1, thanks for coming. We'll see you guys all next week.
Thank you, one and all. See you next time.